Haiti and the Dominican Republic are two independent nations that share one island. Though they are neighbors, their relationship has been fraught with tension, exploitation, and violence. We will discuss the Dominican Republic and Haiti today on the Cruz Line. Hello and welcome to the Cruz Line, brought to you by Tour Productions. I'm your host, Erica Cruz.
And I'm Jason Nichols.
Please like, subscribe, and comment below if there's a subject that you would like for us to address here on the Cruz Line.
The island that is now home to the Dominican Republic and Haiti was first inhabited by the Siboney people and later by the Taino Arawak. Cristobal Colon, also known as Christopher Columbus in English, arrived on the island in 1492, sailing under the Spanish crown. He called the island Insula Hispana. Bartolomé de las Casas called the island Haiti or Haiti, a Taino word for the northern region of the island. Pietro Anguera eventually called the island Hispaniola. Columbus and his fellow European settlers brought diseases that devastated the native population. They also worked the natives to death as they introduced a brutal encomienda system of plantation slavery and gold mining. The Spaniards began to focus largely on the eastern two-thirds of the island. The French increasingly began to settle the western third of the island. The Spaniards and French settled their differences in the Treaty of Ryswick, which established the western part of the island as French territory. The French wasted little time in making what they called Saint-Domingue the most profitable colony on the planet as the world's leader in coffee and sugar production. French colonists were exceptionally cruel to enslaved Africans. Free people of color in Saint-Domingue wanted more political rights in the colony. When they were rebuffed by the French, they banded together with enslaved Africans, many of whom were African-born and engaged in a rebellion. After a war spanning from 1791 to 1804, Haiti was born as an independent nation, the second free republic in the Americas. The United States and its slave-holding president Thomas Jefferson refused to recognize Haiti. This continued up until the Civil War.
Santo Domingo, the eastern side of the island of Hispaniola, declared independence from Spain in 1821. Their independence was short-lived. Haitian President Jean-Pierre Boyer wanted to unify the island and end slavery in the east. The Haitian military was too powerful and too large for the resistance. The Dominicans resented the Haitian occupation, which forced them to adopt the French language, confiscated Roman Catholic Church property, and forced them to serve in the military. Under the leadership of Juan Pablo Duarte, Francisco del Rosario Sanchez, and Ramon Matías Mella, also known as La Trinitaria, the Dominicans defeated the Haitians and declared independence in 1844. The Haitians tried sporadically to regain control over the entire island until 1856, but they were beaten by the Dominicans each time.
Both Haiti and the Dominican Republic have suffered under brutal dictatorships. Francois Duvalier, known as Papa Doc, ruled Haiti from 1957 to 1971. He started out as a populist leader who stressed Black nationalism and pride. Duvalier championed the Black masses of Haiti and exploited their distrust of mulatto elites. He ended up a murderous dictator who rigged elections and routinely killed political dissidents. Dominican dictator Rafael Trujillo ruled La República Dominicana from 1930 to 1961. Trujillo also killed and imprisoned his political opponents. He envisioned the Dominican Republic as a non-Black nation state and welcomed Jewish immigrants from Europe and Spaniards. However, he took inhumane measures to limit and expel Haitian immigrants, including the gruesome Parsley Massacre, where an estimated 15 to 30,000 Haitian immigrants and Afro-Dominicans were slaughtered. Trujillo's distaste for Black people is interesting, given the fact that his mother was partially of Haitian descent.
There are economic, cultural, and perceived racial differences between many Dominicans and Haitians. The Dominican has a stronger and more stable economy than Haiti, with the latter being the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Haiti has been made to pay reparations to France for the war, was occupied by the U.S. in the early 20th century, severely deforested, and indebted due to loans incurred during the reign of the Duvalier family. The 2010 earthquake further destabilized Haiti. Undocumented immigration across the Dominican-Haitian border became commonplace. Haitians provided cheap labor for Dominican construction and agriculture. However, Dominican-born Dominicans, born to two Haitian parents, were subject to Dominican nationalist fervor that led to a 2013 ruling that declared anyone born after 1929 who could not prove that their parents were legal residents were not citizens of the Dominican Republic. As of late 2018, only 19,000 Dominicans of Haitian descent had their citizenship restored, while up to 80,000 were deported to Haiti, a country many had never been to and that was experiencing a cholera outbreak at the time.
It is important to remember that many Dominicans are not anti-Haitian or anti-Black, and some in fact fully embrace their African heritage. In addition, unfortunately, many countries have treated Haitian immigrants similar to the Dominican Republic, such as the Bahamas and Chile. The Dominican Republic was the first nation to come to Haiti's aid after the disastrous 2010 earthquake ravaged the country. They rushed in with rescue workers, food, and water, and allowed foreign relief organizations to land planes at their airports.
That's all for us here on the Cruise Line. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe below, and always stay safe and wear your mask.